Hey guys, it's Josiah here back again with another video. Now in this video we're going to be going through the three main feedback loops that I use to close over 150 plus clients for my own coaching consulting business and agency. And the reason I wanted to make this video is after analyzing the whole journey of closing from zero to the first 10 clients, to the first 50 clients, the first 100 clients, and all the way up to 150 clients, I realized there's a few feedback loops that I've used again throughout this journey that's helped me just make the whole process more efficient, help me get to this level even faster, right? And I want to share it with you guys, then you can look at kind of where you are and see how you can take these feedback loops and then help yourself scale in terms of getting more clients, helping them with the results and everything like that. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Josiah. I help other agency owners scale, and I do this by helping them implement inbound acquisition system and outbound acquisition system so they can sign more clients and remove themselves from their agency. Now, if you want to learn more about how all of that works, there's a link below. Just view that and I'll show you how everything works. But aside from that, let's get into the video. So the first feedback loop that I want to go through is targeting. Now, when it comes to targeting, you really want to be looking at three things: your niche, the size of your niche, and also the location. Right? Now I'm going to give you kind of a story to illustrate this. So before, I was just targeting agency owners, and what I've realized that agency owners that I was targeting, they were EU and USA. They were beginner agency owners all the way to people already making 500k a month to $1 million a month. And what I've realized is that once I've gone through and analyzed the clients, the first around 50 clients that I served, and also my closing rate throughout the whole spectrum of agencies, I looked at the ones that were signing on, the ones that were booking the most. They tend to be around having 1 to 10 employees, around that level, because at that stage they have that need of booking appointments, they have that need of learning how to sign clients themselves. And after they were already making 200k, 400k, 500k a month, they kind of already dialed in acquisition. They had somewhat of an acquisition channel already going, which meant that they didn't have the pain, or enough of the pain, for them to even jump on a call or for them even to purchase our product, right? So what I done then is I started looking at, okay, let's dial in and let's actually not target these bigger companies, because they were the ones that, yes, we saw a few of them, but majority of our clientele came from, especially for the coaching business. For the agency, was the other way around, that it came from majority of the people that could afford it because they wanted it more hands off. But we found the people that were around 1 to 10 plus 1 to 10 employees wanted to learn, wanted to work, and wanted to have more of a consulting procedure. And then once we've gone into that, we realized, okay, let's double down on the group that is working, the group that is purchasing. And then what we found was that, okay, let's double down on this group and then let's make it easier for them to purchase. So we went and got financing options. We then helped them get the financing and the purchasing power to then afford our products, so they can then jump into the program, right? And then what happened as a result, we started to close way more, right? Our closing rate went from around like 10% of roll all the way to around 20% just by doing that one key thing. Addition, there's another key thing that we've done to help us get to that point, which I'll get in a minute. But that was the one lever that we pulled that helped us increase the closing percentage and helped us get more people through the door, and of course helped us grow the clientele, right? Another thing that we realized is that from looking at our clients, that 80% of them came from the US and 20% of them came from the EU. Now, my speculation is that EU, especially with EU, there's the Western EU, the Eastern EU, Northern, and then Southern EU, right? So Northern is Scandinavian, Eastern is Albania and stuff like that, Western Paris, UK, and then Southern is like Italy, Greece, everything like that, right? And throughout the EU, of course, I'm European, there's a spectrum, different spectrum of English levels, there's different spectrum of purchasing power, there's a different spectrum of everything. So it made it very unpredictable to really target specific EU countries that could understand English, that could afford the service, right? And could think that it would work in their specific language, okay? And that's one thing that we've seen more of let's say, objections that people thought it didn't work in their specific language, which it does work. We have clients in Sweden, Albania, all these places, Italy, and it does work in their specific language, right? But we found because they had that premium conception, the closing was a lot lower in them, because just the conviction of it working for them was just a bit lower. So what we then done is just seen where all of our clients were coming from, and then we found out that majority of the clients come from the US. And because the US, they understood English, they have great purchasing power. So then what we decided to do is just to burn all the EU boats and just go all in on the USA market. And a lot of people would never do that because they're like, oh, I want to get all of the market, I want to get all the market share. But I don't think like that. The way I like to think about it is like, where's the money coming from, right? And where's the majority of the money coming from? The majority of the bookings coming from? And how can we double down and get more of what's already working? And it sounds so simple, but a lot of people try to basically catch every single rabbit, but end up catching none. I like to know which rabbit is which rabbit is coming to me, which rabbit is more likely for me to catch, and then what I do is just set up all the systems, all the infrastructure to catch that single rabbit again and again and again. Right? Hope you like my little rabbit analogy. Okay, then once I have the targeting dialed in, then I want to go and do an offer feedback. Now, this is when you listen to your sales calls and you listen to it for the sole purpose of refining your offer. Right? So when you listen to your sales calls, what you're going to do is understand the desired. What desired do they mention, right? When you say, hey, what are you going to be in 12 months in terms of revenue wise? I want to go to the first 10K per month, first 20K per month, first 50K per month, first 100K per month, right? Get note of that number. How many appointments would you like to book? I like to book 15 appointments, 20 appointments, 30 appointments. What type of appointments would you like to book? I like to book appointments with these type of people, these type of people. Why are these people important, right? Because I know they're going to have this, and that. So once you kind of understand the desired outcome, you can then, because what an offer is just basically a promise saying, hey, I can help you get from point A to point B, right? So you want to understand where point B is and where point A is, right? So the desired outcome allows you to understand where point B, like the destination, okay? Now you understand the point A. So when you go to the kind of like, hey, how are you currently getting appointments? What do you not currently like about it? What about this is making you feel this way? How does that make you feel? Then you can understand where the current pain point is. Like for example, especially for agency owners, they go from referrals. Referrals are unpredictable, and because of that, they have ups and downs in their revenue. Right? Some months they have high revenue, some months they literally bring in no clients, and as soon after, some people have dried up the whole networking and haven't got clients for the last 3 months. Right? Now I know that's a big pain point. Now I can use that to marketing. So a good angle could be let's say using claim personalization. Hey, looked at your website, saw that you helped case study name, right? Just wondering, did he come from referrals or do you have an outbound system to get more clients like him? Question mark. The reason I'm asking is because I can help you get desired outcome in right? But that angle just came from me listening back to the sales call and then using what they're saying and then seeing how I can turn that into an opening question, turn that into an offer, turn that into a different angle, right? And of course, what they've tried before, then I can use that as a mechanism without you doing what they've tried before. Email outbound, without you doing paid ads, without you doing leaflets, without you doing networking events, right? Because then you can distinguish how your mechanism is different to the things that they've currently tried or the things that are currently doing right now. Okay, so now you can use this information to write new marketing angles and offers to attract better clients. So you can see that the clients that you did close, what did they say in the desired outcome, right? What did your best client listen back to your sales call and what did he say that you can then add in back into your offer to attract more people like it? Okay, so I listened to the 25 plus calls trying to get my first offer up and running, and as a result, the script that did work lasted 8 months and booked over 1,000 appointments. And this is the power of doing this, right? If you have these feedback loops, you only need to find something, especially when it comes to marketing, that works once, right? Like for example, like right now we're booking more than 300 appointments a month, right? Just by using LinkedIn. And this month, sorry, we haven't tested anything new on LinkedIn. I'm not even gonna lie. Haven't tested anything new because our script has just been working so well. I just don't want to mess with it. I just like, you know what? Let's just run it. Let's just add more volume because it's working extremely, extremely well. We're getting from the 2% median booked rate to some days even 2.5, 2.6% median booked rate, which is good, especially at the scale that we're doing right now. Okay, so once you have that, the offer, you can just, like I said, have this one script and just literally rinse it out as much as possible. Okay. Now, the next thing is product, okay? So after I serviced around 15 clients, I started to look at my onboarding and fulfillment and started seeing patterns of what clients were getting the best results. And this was one of the biggest things. Like, if there's one thing you can do with product is just look at the feedback and then iterate on the feedback, right? Because product is just a process of iterations, okay? And once you get the iterations right and you have a product market fit, boom, people start getting results, right? So what platforms and messaging were working best for, especially with the clients, especially different niches, and what type of clients and leads did my client want? So for example, did they want more quality or did they want more quantity? So for example, when it came to agencies, when we looked to the big guys and they were making like 300K, 500K, a million a month plus, right? They wanted more quality than quantity. So they're happy paying 4K a month, 3K a month for 10 good appointments, right? Rather than paying 30K a month for 50 mediocre appointments. And once I realized that, then I realized, okay, cool. Our goal is to make sure we have that 10 to 20 appointments and they're really good quality. So we need to make sure that every single thing in terms of the lead scoring, the how many employees they have, the revenue they're doing is as high as possible. Okay, and because of that, then we could use that information and put it and make sure the lead sourcing was 10 out of 10, and then we should build like a whole, and we didn't have Clay back then, so just make sure the whole lead source and the lead scoring was 10 out of 10, so that once you put it into the campaign, it kind of pre-selected all of the quality leads that they wanted. So even if we've got 10 appointments, but they're really good appointments with really, really good companies, the clients will be happy. Okay, so then I started to, after understanding everything, I started to remove steps in the delivery which are unnecessary. And a lot of people have too many steps in the delivery. Like I look at some people's delivery, I'm like, oh my God, like why are you doing so much? Because at the end of the day, there's only 80% of the things that you do drives, that 20% of the things you do drives 80% of the revenue, 80% of the results. So I started removing like platforms that we didn't use, right? I started removing, and actually, I'll come into this, like saying no to clients that this will not work for, because some platforms will not work for a certain niche, right? So if your client, let's say, is targeting roofers and you try to do roofers on LinkedIn, I'm sorry, you're not going to work. It's not going to work, right? LinkedIn predominantly works for B2B clients and B2B companies, right? So roofers, I would do something like SMS outreach, right? Or cold calling, okay? Because I know that's going to have the highest pickup rate. And then I'll substitute that or have an alternative email outreach to help them, okay? Then I will be changing my messaging and targeting to find lookalike companies of my case study. So when you do get a case study, do you go and then use tools like Comparative Match, Ocean.io to then find exact lookalike companies for that company that you just got a case study? Because you could, if you do that, you can then have a low-hanging fruit and then start targeting them companies, okay? Then for me, I decided to stick to one acquisition channel for delivery, right? So if you're really good at paid ads, just stick to paid ads, because honestly, once you start scaling and you have all these different platforms for all these different clients, you're just basically making it 10 times harder for you to scale, 10 times harder for your clients, for you to actually build a good delivery strategy or good delivery kind of roadmap. And it's making it 10 times harder for the clients to really understand what you're doing, right? Because if you have one system that works, adding more fuel to the fire can get clients up to 50 or 100 appointments, and you can book that many appointments just for one client alone, right? So this allowed me to, after going through this, allowed me to increase prices because I knew what I was selling was perfect for these type of clients, and I can then change my offer for these type of clients, making the perceived likelihood of achievement a lot higher. So I can go from charging 2K to charging 5K, okay? Then allowed me to double the profit because I've actually stripped a lot of the things that we weren't doing. That means I need less staff, less tools, less time, and that goes allowed me to increase the profit. So for every time I get a client, I could have 60, 70, 80% profit, right? While keeping my team lean, because I needed a generalist and they had less tools and it was the same thing they're doing again and again and again. It made hiring a lot easier because I'm not looking for this like genius. I'm looking for someone, hey, can you follow these procedures that already work it, right? And then allowed me to deliver better results because we kept things simple. We knew where the bottlenecks was. We already solved the same bottlenecks again and again and again. So if, like, let's say the positive reply rate was down, the mini broker rate was down, we just knew how to solve it very quickly. And we knew we basically, because we've made so many mistakes, we could actually front load all the mistakes and all the fixes. And then that means when the client launches, when the client gets the first client, we've made that as short and as seamless as possible. Okay, so these are kind of the three feedback loops. So targeting, make sure you target the right people, the people that actually need your service, the people that can afford it, and the people that are in pain for your service, right? The offer, make sure that your offer is defined from every conversation you've had. You actually go back to the marketing and just have that. And the last thing is the product, right? So looking at the product, look at what works best, what works not, then having that feedback in some of the offer and also the targeting. Okay, so if you need help in terms of actually implementing any of these feedbacks into your agency, there is a link below for us to chat. But other than that, like, subscribe, share this to our YouTube algorithm will actually thank you if you were to share this and show you more videos like this. Okay, so that's it from this video, and that's Josiah, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.